There's a whisper that comes from the future, faint at first, like a distant song. It says, "Give it 1 year." You ignore it, chasing immediate results. You try a diet for a week, a job for a month, a habit for a few days, and when nothing changes dramatically, you quit. You move on, telling yourself it wasn't for you or that it should have worked faster. Carl Jung's ideas on individuation tell a different story. They remind you that transformation isn't a weekend project. The 1-year rule is a brutally honest truth. Meaningful change takes time. 1 year of consistent effort can give you an unfair advantage because most people won't commit that long. The 1-year rule requires patience and discipline, but it offers something priceless in return: depth, mastery, and a life that reflects your true self. Think about a garden. You plant seeds in spring, and the soil looks bare. You water, weed, and wait. Weeks go by. Months pass. At times, you doubt that anything is happening. Then, slowly, shoots break through the earth. Leaves unfurl. Flowers bloom. Fruit ripens. If you had given up in frustration after a week, you would have destroyed the process. The 1-year rule is like gardening your life. Whether you're learning a language, building a business, healing from trauma, or changing a habit, the seeds of transformation need time. This is brutally honest because it confronts your desire for instant gratification. It asks you to stay the course when there are no quick rewards. It challenges the cultural narrative that success is fast and effortless. Most importantly, it aligns you with the rhythm of real growth. Carl Jung's emphasis on the unconscious reminds you that deeper forces are at work beneath the surface. You might spend a year in therapy, feeling like nothing is shifting, only to notice one day that your reactions have softened, your dreams have changed, your relationships feel different. The unconscious moves slowly, integrating insights at its own pace. The 1-year rule respects this. It doesn't demand visible progress every day. It trusts that consistent effort will accumulate, even if you can't see it. Jung's concept of individuation is a lifelong journey. 1 year is just a start, but it's long enough to see if a path resonates. It's long enough to break through the first layer of resistance. It's long enough to build a foundation. The 1-year rule applies to skills as well. A language teacher once said that most students quit before they reach the point where learning accelerates. The initial stage is tough. Your mouth doesn't move the way it needs to. Your ears don't recognize sounds. You make mistakes. You feel foolish. Then, around the 1-year mark, something clicks. Your brain has mapped enough neural pathways. Your mouth forms new shapes. Your ear distinguishes subtle differences. Suddenly, what once felt foreign feels familiar. This is true for playing an instrument, writing, cooking, coding, or any craft. 1 year of steady practice takes you past frustration into fluency. It gives you an unfair advantage because you've persisted where others gave up. The 1-year rule also transforms habits. Changing behavior is not just about willpower. It's about rewiring your brain. Neurologists say it takes months to form new neural pathways. You can't override a lifetime of habits in a week. 1 year of daily commitment rewrites your patterns. If you decide to meditate for 10 minutes every day, you might feel restless at first. Your mind wanders. You think it's not working. Then, after months, you notice you're less reactive. You handle stress better. Your brain has changed. It's subtle at first, then undeniable. This kind of transformation doesn't come from sporadic effort. It comes from showing up daily, even when you see no immediate benefit. The unfair advantage is that your discipline becomes your freedom. You are no longer at the mercy of old habits. You've created new, healthier pathways. Why is a year the magic number? It isn't arbitrary. A year contains the seasons. It takes you through winter's introspection, spring's renewal, summer's expansion, and autumn's harvest. Each season mirrors your inner processes. Winter asks you to rest and reflect. Spring invites new beginnings. Summer fuels your growth. Autumn encourages you to reap what you've sown and let go of what no longer serves you. 1 year offers a complete cycle. Anything less is incomplete. You miss the full arc of growth. The 1 year rule lets you see how your commitment withstands the storms, the boredom, the excitement, and the calm. It lets you see if the thing you've chosen to pursue truly aligns with your soul. If, after a year, it doesn't, you can change course with clarity. You won't be plagued by what-ifs because you gave it a real chance. One brutally honest truth of the 1 year rule is that you will face resistance. Your mind will come up with reasons to quit. You'll feel bored. You'll doubt. People around you may question your commitment. They may say you're wasting your time. This is part of the process. Resistance often spikes just before breakthroughs. It's a test of your dedication. When you recognize resistance as a signpost rather than a stop sign, you find the strength to continue. Carl Jung might call this confronting the shadow, the part of you that sabotages growth. By committing to 1 year, you confront this shadow. You learn that uncomfortable feelings are not a reason to abandon your path. They are part of the journey. The 1 year rule also requires letting go of comparison. It's tempting to look at someone who achieves something faster and feel inadequate. But timelines differ. Some seeds sprout in weeks, others in months. Some people start with more resources or experience. Others have different goals. The unfair advantage of the 1 year rule is not about outpacing others. It's about outlasting your own doubt. It's about building a relationship with time that respects your rhythm. At the end of a year, you won't compare yourself to others. You'll compare yourself to who you were when you started. You'll see growth. You'll see resilience. You'll see commitment. That is your advantage. There's another element. The 1 year rule does not mean you must stick with something that is clearly harmful or misaligned. It's about honest commitment, not blind perseverance. If, within that year, you discover a path is wrong for you, the rule asks you to stay curious. Why did it feel right at first? What changed? Did you expect it to solve something it couldn't? Did you begin for external approval rather than internal desire? This reflection prevents impulsive quitting. It teaches discernment. Jung emphasized listening to the inner voice. The 1 year rule ensures you have enough time to hear it clearly. A month's dalliance might be a whim. A year's pursuit reveals deeper truth. Practicing the 1 year rule can be transformative beyond the specific goal. It teaches discipline, patience, and trust. Discipline, because you show up even when you don't feel like it. Patience, because you watch slow progress and resist the urge to rush. Trust, because you commit without guarantee of immediate results. These qualities seep into other areas of your life. You become someone who finishes what they start. You become someone who understands growth. You become someone who isn't thrown off by initial lack of results. This mindset itself is an unfair advantage. In a world that glorifies instant gratification, patience is revolutionary. Those who master it can achieve things others never will. Take journaling as an example. Commit to writing 1 page a day for a year. At first, you'll write about your day. Soon, patterns emerge. You see thoughts you think repeatedly, You see how you respond to events. You uncover beliefs. By the end of the year, you have a record of your transformation. You also have improved clarity. Writing daily is not glamorous, but the insights are profound. Most people journal sporadically, missing the deeper patterns. Your 1-year commitment gives you wisdom that feels almost prophetic. You can predict your reactions, understand your cycles, and adjust accordingly. This awareness influences your decisions. It is an unfair advantage. Another example. Imagine you decide to practice gratitude. Every night for a year, you write 3 things you're grateful for. At first, you struggle. You list obvious things. Over time, your eyes sharpen. You notice subtleties. A smile from a stranger, the way light dances on water, the comfort of a warm blanket. By the end of the year, your brain has rewired to look for good. Joy becomes more accessible. Stress becomes less overwhelming. The world feels different because you've trained your mind. The advantage is subtle but potent. Where others see only problems, you see possibilities. Carl Jung taught that your external life reflects your internal reality. The 1-year rule aligns your inner shifts with outer changes. When you commit to a path for a year, you align your inner world with consistent action. You tell the universe, "I'm serious." Opportunities often appear when you demonstrate dedication. A year of studying a language might lead to meeting someone who speaks it, traveling to a country where it's spoken, or getting a job that requires it. A year of working on your art might lead to an exhibition. These outcomes are not magic. They are responses to your commitment. Life meets you where you show up. The brutal honesty of the 1-year rule also exposes excuses. If you can't commit to something for a year, ask why. Is it truly important to you? Are you afraid of failure? Are you distracted by other pursuits? This clarity saves you from chasing whims. It helps you focus on what matters. It eliminates half-hearted starts and stops. It preserves your energy. It teaches you to say no to what doesn't align with your deeper goals. As you finish your year-long commitment, there's a sense of accomplishment. Whether you mastered the skill or not, you learned discipline. You learned about your mind. You learned about time. You built a relationship with yourself. And that relationship is the real unfair advantage. The world responds differently when you know yourself. People trust you. Opportunities find you. Your life gains momentum. Carl Jung believed that individuation leads to wholeness. The 1-year rule is a practical application of that journey. It asks you to commit to the long game. It rewards you with depth that shortcuts can't provide. If you're considering starting something, learning, healing, building, ask yourself, am I willing to give it 1 year? If the answer is yes, prepare for a journey. Mark your start date. Commit to consistency. Track your progress, not for instant validation, but for reflection. Expect boredom, frustration, and doubt. Expect surprise, insight, and satisfaction. At the end of the year, evaluate honestly. If it's right, continue. If it's not, you've learned something invaluable. Either way, you're further along than when you started. The 1-year rule doesn't guarantee specific outcomes, but it guarantees growth. In a world of quick fixes, that is indeed an unfair advantage.